All right, I'm here with Melissa Maxwell to talk about Remax R4. We just got back. I tried to find you at the blackjack table. I
Yes.
swear I did.
Well, I was winning, so
I got that going for
Yes.
you. You know, I didn't get to play a single table game.
that's crazy.
None. I played slots. I played the craps and the big bubble thing.
Yes.
Because the tables were crazy.
Did you not leave the hotel?
I went to Venetian. Mm-hmm. I went to New York, New York.
And you still didn't get a table anywhere?
Well, those two I was going to events.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but
It was a lot of fun.
I did not do well on video poker.
I never do video. I don't trust it for some reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but had a blast. So tell me, how many R4s have you been to?
I think this is my 4th or 5th.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was really good. I was excited to go for the 50th,
Heck yeah.
especially because I thought it was going to be a really good show and a lot of good information, and it really was. Yeah.
So when you go to conferences like this, obviously you run a team. What do you try to take away from conferences?
So many different things because there's so much to learn. And every time I come back with packets and packets of things that I want to try to implement.
Sure.
And then I realized after the first couple of times I need to pick like maybe 10 at the
Yeah.
most and
Sure.
really try to do it. And then every year, things in this business change. So it's important to try to stay on top of it. And you find good ideas.
Heck yeah. Mm-hmm. So what of the 10 things this year? Like, give me just a few examples of.
Well, more than anything, it was the technology with the KV Core
Sure.
stuff. That was huge because I really needed to learn how to implement the system and use it well. So I was happy with that, and that's really why I wanted to go for those classes.
Yeah.
But more than anything, I think I needed a jolt of motivation. I was just getting wore out for the end of the year,
Yep.
and it really helped to be able to go and listen to everybody speak.
I do think the energy was amplified this year. And it always is. I like the conference energy, the camaraderie. And I told Bob when I sat down with him, I said, Remax is different where you're not necessarily competing with every agent.
Totally agree.
We're willing to share exactly what works for us and what doesn't.
No, it's like a camaraderie. It's a big difference in regards to the environment here with other offices.
Yeah.
It's huge.
And so you get that like on steroids
Yes.
at the conference
I
because
loved it.
you're hearing it from people all over the country, all over the world.
Yes. It was
So-
amazing. It was really amazing.
Who are some of your favorites?
Well, obviously, Dave, to hear him tell the story
Yeah.
is I always love to hear.
I'd never heard the mob story.
Oh, that was really cool,
very
actually.
cool.
I think that was the new one, too. I love to hear how he talks about Gail.
Yep.
And the fact that he broke into tears then made me as well. You just love to hear that good people are having good things happen and running companies and they actually care.
Yeah.
And that is a huge difference compared to some of the other companies that I think that we compete against.
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, he's been doing this for 50 years.
It's incredible.
And, some will say won't let go, but I honestly think it's in his heart that he doesn't want to. Because
Yeah,
this
I
is
think it's a passion.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and it is International Women's Day.
It
And
is.
so one of the things we just talked about was,
I was thrilled to hear how he wanted to try to push that and have women come into the business more and understand how important that is for the
it
business. And
changed the real estate industry.
it's incredible. I
So,
love that.
For those of you that don't know, Dave, the real estate industry at that time, especially in Denver, was very male dominant. I think the other brokerages
And
had
retirees, I think he was saying.
a couple hundred agents in those brokerages nearby that were dominating the market. And he came in and he started hiring
The women.
the women, and they took off. And by the next
Ruled the
year,
world.
by the next year, he brought the top 4 men from the other company over,
Yes.
and then they exploded from there. And since then, this has been a female-dominated industry.
It's pretty incredible. And it's
So-
great to hear that he was one of the first to be able to do that.
Oh yeah, and
I love that.
Yeah, and it's obviously without Gail, none of it would be possible. So
Right.
very cool stories. And then as a drummer, I know we talked about this as well.
Oh, yeah. This was my favorite, the
We got-
closing show.
We got to see Pink's drummer, and I didn't realize how many people he played drums for. Whether
Me
it be
neither.
Cher or Pink, and
That was so
there were a
cool.
couple
Cheryl
others.
Crow.
Yeah.
I love her.
So-
So yeah, that was really good. It was good. And honestly, that's what I needed too, was to hear it. Because he was talking about where he could just go through the motions and
Mm-hmm.
do his set, or you could play with passion. And I
Right.
think that after being in the business for so long, 23 years, you can easily go through the motions.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to understand this really is the first time for most people that you're working with.
Right.
And they need to see that passion and know that you care. And I think that that was really amazing to witness.
Awesome.
It was really a good session. I
No,
was
it-
thrilled with it.
No, it wasn't even just, thinking of the happy moment and getting rid of the
The
stress.
energy, it's so true.
Maroon 5 even did that. Where they
Yes.
said, hey, I want you to put down your phones for just a second.
I was there.
And I promise the energy in here will change. And it truly did.
Yes.
Like, it was just like, hey, enjoy that moment. Be in that moment as opposed to watching it behind a screen. Mm-hmm. So.
I loved it. It was a
great show.
It was.
He was hitting notes. I saw them back in 2003. That was the last time I saw them. And he was hitting notes I didn't think he had in him. So.
Well, Frank, who was in our office, I would go to the conferences with every year. So every time I go to Vegas, I think of him, and we would do crazy things like ride roller coasters off of the stratosphere and all crazy stuff
awesome.
together. So I loved it. So that song "Memories" that he did reminded me of Frank too, and that was just icing on the cake for that event this
Absolutely.
time. I loved it.
Great.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add to people that didn't go or to people that are considering going in the future?
I would totally recommend that everybody go to the convention. There's always something to learn. It never changes in this industry that things are changing. And so it's important to stay on top of that stuff. Plus, it really does have an energy that you can't get from anywhere else when you have meetings. And it's amazing.
Awesome. Well, Melissa, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
We'll see
you.
you guys in the next one.